Hi, I'm Stephen Colber. We're looking at instructional video. Now we're at the phase where we're talking about pedagogy. So you've got your videos, you've thought of how you're going to apply them, and this is basically, you've got time that's freed up now. You've done a lot of your teaching via video, and you've got all this class time to think about and how you might actually deliver effective pedagogy to enhance your teaching. So with all the freed up time, there's a whole lot of different activities and strategies that you can try. Essentially, for me, these are the kind of activities that normally maybe at the end of a unit, or you've got a couple of weeks at the end of the year, you try out maybe once every 3 years, or when you get a really good class, you're able to apply these techniques. Think of those things that you've done only very rarely that you might now be able to use a little bit more because you've got all this content delivered via video. Okay, so we're delivering content via video. The most important thing you need to keep in mind is assessment. So your students, whether they're watching the videos in class or at home, doesn't really matter how you're applying the video. The most important thing is formative assessment. So are they picking up the information that you're delivering via your video? So you can use this feedback either to improve your teaching or even to improve your videos, or regardless to inform your teaching going forward. So in terms of assessment, you need to think of how you're going to actually collect this information. You could do it very old school, get students to write on the whiteboard or a little post-it as they leave. But since they're watching things on a device already, it's probably logical to do it in a digital way. So there's a whole range of programs and systems that you can use to insert questions into the videos that your students are watching. You can get analytics on how long they've watched the video for, if they've scanned to the end, how long they've spent on it, and also when they watched it. So this is all invaluable information for you as a teacher to make behavioural but also knowledge-based interventions with your students. So the second thing to consider is, of course, that now that you've freed up time and you're really assessing your students and you're getting a really good picture of what they know and what they don't know, it's time to actually apply the learning. So you're not just delivering content anymore, you're actually going to be asking them to put those pieces of information together and to apply them in real-world situations. Okay, so creating a student-centric class essentially means that you're putting the student at the centre of the room. So that could be through discussion, debating, student-led activities. You could even get your students to create videos that then their peers have to watch. And this is a really interesting way to sort of shift your role as teacher and to empower the students as learners and also as teachers. One of the student-centric activities that I really love is called a Socratic circle or Socratic seminar. Essentially, you've got two circles of chairs. The inner circle are having a discussion based off something they've read or a video that they've watched. And then the outer circle is assessing the discussion and taking notes on what they hear. Then the students swap roles and around a different question have another discussion. And you as the teacher, you're there facilitating. You're not leading the discussion. You're not telling people who to talk to. You're not telling people that they need to speak less or speak more. You're very much putting the students at the centre of this activity and letting them have a discussion on the content that you've delivered. Another student-centric activity that you can do is getting your students to produce videos for themselves. And you might be surprised by just how many students in your class have a YouTube channel or vlog or make their own footage. And so you're just essentially giving them a topic to produce a video on. And once you've got that, you're going to share that around with the class and get others to watch them, perhaps even providing feedback if you're being brave. So this is a really good way to use the skills and the knowledge that you've learnt here and applying that directly to your students. Okay, another thing that you can try is video feedback. So instead of writing in a red pen all over a piece of students' work or providing audio feedback, you can do a screen capture where you're actually looking at their work or holding up their work or pointing to their work using a document camera. And this is a really effective and time-saving way to produce feedback for your students and a really good way of using the assessment processes and also your skills of video together. Okay, so that's a really quick flying tour of some pedagogical approaches that you can take through using video, but just keep in mind that it's all dependent on your students, your context, and your teaching style. And as long as you've got your learner at sort of the front of your mind while you're producing video and thinking about the way that you teach as a result, you're on the right track.